Hi everyone. I wanted to send you a video to walk you through what you should work on for the first week of CIS Prog 5. So going from the main page of Canvas, you probably got an announcement that gave you a rundown of everything you should be working on this week under the title Welcome to CIS Prog 5. First, take a look at things like the syllabus, the course expectations, the resources that are available to you, the schedule, which is also in the syllabus, but that's a shortcut, and even extra credit if you want to find the areas where you can pick up a few more points. This is going to give you a general course overview of CIS Prog 5. In addition, since this is only an 8-week class, it goes very quickly. So we're already going to do some work this week instead of giving you time to get used to the class. This is an 18-week class that's designed to be taught in a full semester, but is given a fast track so that you can get through it quickly. But that means you need to be prepared and allow extra time for extra work that's going to be given each week, about double what it would normally be. The first week, you're going to go to the Introduction to Python page in Canvas, and on that Introduction to Python page, you'll find a number of resources. Don't let it overwhelm you. There's quite a bit to cover. The good news is that our textbook for this course is free, and it's available online to read. And I have the links here. Automate the Boring Stuff is what it's called. And so if you go to the Introduction to Python page, you'll see that you have your week 1 to-do list, which says this week, in addition to getting familiar with the course, you should read chapter 1 in the text. And that is, of course, the Automate the Boring Stuff. Automate the Boring Stuff, Python Basics. Every chapter has a bunch of information about Python, and at the end, it has, let me get back to the table of contents, what I meant to do. Automate the Boring Stuff with Python is at automatetheboringstuff.com. And it has several topics. We're going to get through a bunch of these, as many as we can. I might throw in some of the stuff that we don't get to just as a update once we get towards the end. This chapter 1, Python Basics, is going to cover some basics of how to create Python. This is going to give you some idea about things like errors and comments and using basic variables and the different data types like integer, floating point, and string, and how to manipulate input and to create output. There are some examples in here which shows how to use the print function and ask for a name. And so I would say start here by reading this chapter. If you want some further information, there are videos for this chapter that are created by the author of the textbook. So that's what these videos here are on the screen. Go through those and watch them. There's also a PowerPoint file if you like that too. And I've given a couple more links to other places like learnpython.org and python.org getting started. So all of those things are not mandatory, but they're all to help you get started with Python, especially if you have no experience with Python to this point. So there is a whole bunch of other tutorials, and this is an example of just some basic Python that I've created to help you get going with this. This week and every week, there are 3 things that you do. One is a review, which means that you're going to answer the questions at the end of the chapter and explore some code. The second is labs, and I did send out an email saying that although the textbook is free, the labs cost a $25 subscription. Sorry about that, but I think you'll learn a lot from working on those labs. And the third is a group project. Now, I have not set up the groups yet because I need to wait and see if I'm going to be adding more people and if there are students that drop or do not attend the class. So I will send out a message in a couple of days what group you're assigned to. Don't worry about that project for now. As far as the review, when you go into the review section, it's going to say answer the practice questions and complete exploring the program. Answering the practice questions means going back to that link we were just on, going all the way down to the bottom after you've obviously read it, and there's the practice questions. I just want you to submit the answers. You don't need to rewrite the questions. In addition, it says complete exploring the program, bagels, and I have a link to that. Copying and run the code provided and answer the question at the end of the project by making small suggested changes. You do not need to submit the code. So with this one, it's going to give you a program. This one's called Bagels. It's a deductive logic game. It gives you the input and the output. It explains how it works. It has all of the code. And then at the very bottom, it says exploring the program. I don't need you to submit the code. What I need you to do is answer the questions. If you can answer these questions without making the code work, that's okay, because that's all I'm looking for. And maybe you understand the process and you can answer the questions. Otherwise, a good way to do this would be to copy and paste that code and get it to work. And once it works, try to make these changes and see what happens. So either way, whichever one's easiest for you. So once you complete the review, of course, you will start this assignment and then you'll submit it. And then after you feel pretty comfortable with that, the next part will be going to the labs. So the labs, there we go. The labs will take you to zyBooks. The very first time that you open up zyBooks, it's going to ask you to subscribe. Once you subscribe, it should take you there immediately to verify your account with the login. And so once you have that available, then you'll be able to do the labs. And the labs themselves are small programs with some basic instruction that will test your programs and then give you feedback immediately, which is why I use them. Then you can make corrections. Jumping straight into the labs without having done the reading or the review is going to make it very difficult for you. I'm not going to start with the labs right now, but the video, I will record that on a separate video. I just wanted to get you started. Please know I am available for Zoom meetings on Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon, and I'm on campus on Thursday afternoons if you'd like to stop by and say hi. If you have additional time, I can arrange appointments as necessary, or send me an email if you have questions. I will talk to you soon. I hope this has been helpful.